This little boy was Genghis Khan. From a humble nomadic tribal person, he eventually conquered one-third of the entire world. The 2007 Russian film, Mongol, The Rise of Genghis Khan, explores how a simple, innocent child became the most powerful man on earth. So, let's start this story from the very beginning. Around 1192, monarchy reigned everywhere in the world. Democracy was practically non-existent. Similarly, in a part of China, there was a kingdom ruled by a king named Tengut. In the deserts of his kingdom lived several Mongolian tribes. These Mongolian tribes formed their own groups. They called the leader of each group Khan. These Khans were always at war with each other. One such small group's Khan was Yesuge, and this is his son, Temujin. Today, Temujin has turned 9 years old. Mongolian tribes typically arranged marriages for their sons once they reached 9. The story begins with Yesuge taking Temujin to a group called the Merkits to arrange a marriage for his son. Many years ago, Yesuge had forcefully abducted and married a woman from the Merkit tribe, so now he wanted to improve relations by arranging his son's marriage with a girl from their group. On their way to the Merkits, they stopped at another group's encampment to spend the night. Yesuge had an old friend in this group. While Yesuge was chatting with his friend inside the tent, Temujin was organizing his belongings outside. Just then, a little girl from that group approached. Her name was Bort. When she asked about Temujin, he explained that he was out looking for a bride. Hearing this, she told Temujin that he should marry Bort. Smart boys marry within their own group, she said, and then ran off. That night, Temujin told his father that he wanted to marry into this group. But his father said he wanted to form an alliance with the Merkit tribe. This group is very small and weak. There isn't much benefit in allying with them. But little Temujin stubbornly insisted that he would choose a girl from this group. The next morning, following Mongolian tradition, all the young girls from the group were lined up. Temujin's father told him to make sure to look at their feet before choosing a girl. Because if the feet were strong, only then could the girl make him happy. Temujin followed his father's advice, looked at the feet of all the girls, and finally chose Bort. Then, their marriage was officially arranged. However, since they were both very young, they would have to wait about 5 more years to live together. After the wedding, Temujin gifted Bort a small locket made of a bone fragment and promised he would return in 5 years. Since the marriage was done, they started returning to their own group instead of going to the Merkit group. On their way back, a sudden fierce storm began. They all managed to take shelter in a small cave. Yesuge then explained that such lightning meant the god Tengri was very angry. All Mongols greatly feared lightning and the god Tengri. After the storm ended, they resumed their journey the next day. But on the way, at a resting place, they encountered a rival group of Yesuge's enemies. The two groups sat at a distance, observing each other. Yesuge decided not to fight at the resting place. After sitting for a while, a man from the enemy group came with a ball of milk and said, "Khan, our Khan sent this for you as a return gift." Yesuge also gave him some dried meat and some milk from their side. Before Yesuge drank the milk, someone from his group suggested checking if it was poisoned. But Yesuge said, this would insult the enemy group's Khan. Mongols never do that. Saying this, he trustingly drank the milk. After a short rest, they resumed their journey. But after going some distance, Yesuge began to feel chest pain, and within minutes, he died there. This meant the milk given by the enemy group's Khan was indeed poisoned. Little Temujin painstakingly brought his father's body home. But upon returning, he saw Targudai, who was Yesuge's closest confidant, beginning to seize all their property and possessions. Because of this, Temujin's mother cursed Targudai, saying, "One day Temujin will grow up and take revenge for this betrayal." Hearing this, Targudai decided he would kill Temujin right then. But the Mongol rule was that if someone's height was less than their cart's wheel, they could not be killed under any circumstances. Doing so was considered highly reprehensible among Mongols. Fortunately, Temujin's height was still much shorter than the wheel. So, Even if he wanted to, he couldn't kill him. Targudai then told Temujin's mother that Temujin would surely grow taller by next year, and then he would come and kill him. As time passed, the next year arrived. Temujin realized that Targudai would come to kill him now. Since he was still very young, he wouldn't be able to fight Targudai. So he began to flee his territory. It was winter then. There was a lot of ice everywhere in the severe cold. While walking through the ice, the layer of ice suddenly broke, and he fell into the water. But fortunately, a boy from another Mongol group came and saved him. That boy took him to his home. He said his name was Jamukha. He was also the son of his group's Khan, and would also become a Khan when he grew up. Temujin wanted to make him his brother to save his own life. So he cut his own hand and mixed blood with milk. Jamukha also cut his hand like him, and mixed his blood with milk. Then, drinking that milk, they accepted each other as blood brothers. Temujin stayed with Jamukha for some time. But one day, while exploring with Jamukha, Targudai's men spotted Temujin and forcibly captured him. But this time too, his height was less than the cart's wheel. So they put a chain around his neck like a slave and made him work like an animal. Little Temujin eventually got tired and told Targudai that he no longer wanted to be a Khan. But Targudai still didn't let him go, continuing to make him work. There was an old man there who felt much pity for Temujin. So, he secretly started taking care of Temujin, hiding from everyone. One day, a sudden, fierce storm began. Everyone in the group, afraid, hid in their tents. Taking advantage of this, the old man freed Temujin. Temujin, with the chain still around his neck, ran away. He had nowhere to go, so he fled to a mountain and began to ask for help from their god Tengri. Then, somehow, his chain truly did come off. Temujin understood that his god had helped him. After that, he continued to flee like this for several more years. Many years passed, but Targudai's men were still searching for him. While fleeing, he once again encountered their men. Seeing them, he started running. But within moments, they caught him. Then they tied him with a rope and dragged him back to them. Despite all of Targudai's torment, Temujin didn't soften towards him. Instead, he cursed him. So Targudai decided he wouldn't kill Temujin outright, but rather make him suffer. He put the chain around his neck again and held him captive. This time, too, the old man came and took care of him. At night, Temujin cleverly provoked the guard next to him. When the guard angrily approached him, Temujin killed him, took the key, unlocked his shackles, and escaped. After running all night, he met a man in the morning. The man knew Temujin very well and liked Temujin's father, Yesuge, very much. So the man unchained him and gifted him a horse. Temujin immediately went to his wife. He found Bort had grown up significantly. Bort told him she had waited all these years only for Temujin. From there, Temujin, with his wife Bort, set off on horseback to go to his mother. Temujin's mother was very happy to see them and welcomed her daughter-in-law with a necklace. Temujin's days with his mother passed quite well. Temujin was very happy with his wife. But one day, the Merkit group suddenly attacked them. Temujin and his wife fled on horseback. But suddenly, an arrow shot from behind hit Temujin in the back. Temujin fell weakly from the horse, so his horse also stopped. To save him, Bort hit the horse from behind and surrendered herself to the Merkit group. They tied a rope around Bort's neck and took her away. Meanwhile, Temujin's horse brought Temujin back home. Temujin's mother and sister treated him and nursed him back to health. As soon as he recovered, Temujin went to his childhood friend and sworn brother, Jamukha. Jamukha was very happy to see him. They went inside and sat down. Now Jamukha was also a Khan himself. Temujin told Jamukha that he wanted to get Bort back. But Jamukha said, Mongols never fight for their women. If necessary, he would bring him 5 more girls. But Temujin loved Bort from his heart, so he kept requesting Jamukha to help him get Bort. After much thought, Jamukha said he would fight the Merkits after 1 year to bring boat back. In this 1 year, Temujin should also build up his own army. Temujin waited for a year. After a year, Jamukha, with his army and Temujin, entered the Merkit group's territory. They had a fierce battle with the Merkit group. Jamukha was almost dying in the battle, but Temujin came and saved him. During a break in the battle, Temujin, disguised with a Merkit mask, went into the Merkit encampment and frantically started searching for boat. After searching for a while, he suddenly found boat in a tent. But boat was pregnant then. Temujin hugged boat and accepted the child in boat's womb as his own. He took boat and returned with Jamukha. At night, everyone gathered together to celebrate their victory in the war. Then Jamukha asked Temujin to stay with him. He said he would make him his commander. But Temujin said he was also the son of a Khan, so he had to become a Khan himself. He also had his own group. After a while, Temujin's soldiers came to ask him how they would divide the spoils of war. Temujin kept nothing for himself. He gave everything to his soldiers. While other Khans always kept 90% for themselves and gave very little to their soldiers. Seeing Temujin's generosity, his soldiers were very happy. Then everyone fell asleep. When Jamukha woke up in the morning, he saw that Temujin had left with his wife and soldiers without telling him. Then his younger brother, Thatcher, came and told him that 2 of their soldiers had gone with Temujin. Hearing this, Jamukha felt very bad. He immediately took Thatcher and went to catch Temujin and asked him, "Why are soldiers leaving with him?" Temujin then said, "This is the custom of the Mongols. Mongols can change their Khan whenever they want. There is nothing he can do about it." Then those 2 soldiers said, "Temujin is much fairer to his soldiers, so they will stay with Temujin." Jamukha left, feeling upset. A few days later, those 2 soldiers suddenly saw someone stealing their horses. So they chased him and shot arrows at him to catch him. The thief died there from the arrow wounds. They went closer and saw that it was Jamukha's brother, Thatcher. They ran back and told Temujin. Hearing this, Temujin said, "By saving the horses, you have invited war upon us." The soldier offered to send his head to Jamukha. But Temujin understood that Jamukha would quickly attack him to avenge his brother's murder. So he quickly started fleeing with his men. After going some distance, a soldier came and told him that Jamukha was rapidly approaching and would catch them. He immediately separated the soldiers' families and told them to leave quickly. He himself began to prepare for battle with a few soldiers. Before boat left, she gave Temujin the locket he had given her in childhood and told him, no matter what, he must survive. Then she also rode away with the soldiers' families. Within moments, Jamukha arrived with his army. Targodai had also come with his men to kill Temujin. Temujin's army was nothing compared to their army. They were only a few people, yet everyone fought desperately. Temujin fought as long as he was conscious. While fighting, Temujin eventually lost consciousness. When he regained consciousness, he saw Jamukha looking at him. Jamukha asked him to beg for his life. Temujin said, he is also a Khan can never beg. Jamukha wanted to kill him, but because he had called him brother for so long, he couldn't completely kill him. So he sold him to a slave trader. That slave trader, along with many other slaves, began dragging him with a rope around his neck. Temujin spent another year as a slave this way. The slave trader had taken him away from the desert area to the kingdom of King Tengut. He still hadn't been able to sell him. One day, the slave trader was sitting in the market to sell Temujin. Just then, the king of the Tengut kingdom came to visit the market. He was also looking for some slaves for himself. After seeing everyone, he liked Temujin. But when he tried to buy him, an old sage with the king told him, this slave will bring him misfortune. This mere slave will one day destroy his kingdom. Hearing this, the king laughed. He said, how can a mere slave destroy such a large kingdom? He would rather buy this slave and put him in a zoo. Saying this, he bought Temujin. He imprisoned Temujin like an animal in a prison, and people started enjoying watching him like an animal in a zoo. Meanwhile, one day, the old sage came and told Temujin, when he is released, he should not destroy the temples, even if he destroys everything else in the kingdom. There are many sacred books in the temples. They must be protected. Temujin then said that if he could find his wife and give her this locket, he would never destroy the temples of that kingdom. The next day, the Buddhist sage set out to find Bort as he had promised. Before leaving, he learned everything from the slave trader about where different Mongol groups could be found. The old sage walked so much that he eventually collapsed to the ground, exhausted, and died there. But fortunately, he had reached close to Bort. Bort saw him and found the locket Temujin had given her on him. Seeing this, Bort understood that Temujin was still alive and was in the kingdom of King Tengut. She waited beside the old man's corpse. Her plan was that if someone came to take the old man's body, she could go to King Tengut's kingdom with them. A few days later, the slave trader was passing by that way. He came and cremated the old sage's body and asked Bort where she wanted to go. Bort then said she wanted to go to the kingdom of King Tengut. The slave trader then took her with him. After traveling for several days, Bort finally reached the kingdom of King Tengut. Dressed in a whale-like garment, she searched the entire kingdom and found Temujin. Seeing Temujin in this condition, she burst into tears and immediately planned to get him out. At night, she bribed the guards there with some money and her own necklace and got the key from them. She took the key and threw it towards Temujin. Temujin quickly got out with the key, and both of them escaped. Temujin saw that he now had a son and a daughter. He accepted them as his own children, and they returned to their old home together. Temujin's days with his wife and children passed quite well. Then one day, in conversation, Bort suddenly told Temujin how good it would be if Mongols also followed laws like the king of the Tengut kingdom. But Mongols only fight among themselves. This had a profound impact on Temujin. He decided he would unite all the Mongols and bring them all under one law. He immediately bid farewell to Bort and set off again on his horse. Day after day, he traveled to the mountain where he had prayed to the god Tengri for his life as a child. Sitting here, he again sought Tengri's help for his plan. He swore to Tengri that he would bring all Mongols together under the law. And if it meant killing half the people, then he would do so. Their law would be very simple. Women and children must never be killed, one must never betray their Khan, and one must fight their enemy as long as there is life. After this, he began to unite all the Mongols. Many more years passed like this. The year 1196 arrived. By this time, Temujin had united many groups. Temujin now had a vast army, but the biggest obstacle in his mission was his brother Jamukha. Jamukha had also built a huge army by then. There was a huge battle between the two groups on the battlefield. Although Jamukha's army was larger than Temujin's, Temujin had a very good plan to win the war. His plan worked even better because as soon as the battle began, the entire sky became covered with clouds, and fierce lightning and rain started. All Mongols greatly feared this lightning because they believed the god Tengri was angry with them. So everyone stopped fighting and sat down in fear. But Temujin encouraged his own army and made them understand that the god Tengri was with them. Due to his strategy, Temujin won the battle with fewer men. After the war, it was time for judgment. Since Temujin's objective was to unite all Mongols, he forgave all the enemy soldiers at once. The soldiers, impressed by Temujin's generosity, accepted him as their new Khan. Finally, the time came when the victorious Temujin and the defeated Jamukha sat together. Temujin came and asked Jamukha, "What would you do if you were in my place?" Jamukha said, "I would kill you." Then Temujin took him outside and set him free. Jamukha then said, "You let your enemy go." Temujin said, "I freed my brother." After this, Temujin began to spend his days with his family again and started strengthening the Mongols by uniting them. In this way, in 1206, Temujin united all the Mongols. All the Mongols accepted him as their Khan, and together they gave him the title of Genghis Khan. Then Temujin attacked the kingdom of King Tengut and completely wiped the Tengut Empire off the face of the earth forever. And there, he started his Mongol Empire. But in the war, to keep the promise he made to the old sage, he did not allow a single temple to be destroyed. This is how Genghis Khan's Mongol Empire once became the largest empire in the world. It is said that Genghis Khan once conquered 1/3 of the entire world. I hope you enjoyed the video very much. Thank you very much for staying with GRS Story.